We are standing here in Times Square, New York City, just next to this rally taking place here by pro-Israelis, and they are claiming to stop the stabbing taking place in the Holy Land. Well, that stabbing taking place in the Holy Land, the conflict from all sides, the suffering from all sides is very sad, it's very tragic. And we are here to say that the reality is that the Zionists ignited the fire now and in the past. We have to understand where all of this comes from. Where is this stabbing coming from? Where is this conflict coming from? Just 2 weeks ago, these Israelis went up to the Temple Mount and simply inciting the people, the Arab people who are praying there, and simply claiming, making a statement that show an example that they are ruling over the space, threatening the people that they are going to overtake it. This is exactly what is causing now these terrible tragedies that unfortunately we are hearing, we're seeing in the news. And this is exactly what is happening already for decades. Why in the world do the Palestinian people hate Israelis? What changed since the very beginning of Zionism before 1929? Just because what happened in the very beginning of Zionism, even way before 1948, at the Hebron Massacre in 1929, when the Zionists incited the residents of Palestine to claiming that they are going to overtake the land. This is documented, there is many literature on this to study, and we have to understand that Jews did live in peace in Palestine before the movement of Zionism, before 1929, and unfortunately this was destroyed, this peace. Why in the world? Just because of this nationalism that was initiated by the founders of the State of Israel in the very beginning, and this simply caused all this conflict. And it happens to be that this philosophy of Zionism to build a sovereign homeland for Jews was opposed by all Jewish leaders in the very beginning. Why? Because this is against Judaism. According to Judaism, Jews are in exile. We are forbidden to create a state of our own. We are to live in peace in all lands where we live and respect the rulers and the neighbors of the country. This is exactly how Jewish people conducted themselves in all countries, including Palestine. They respected the people and they were respected by the non-Jewish neighbors. The Jewish people at the time were a very small minority, and despite they were the minority, they were respected and protected. Now again, we are talking about prior to 1929. Unfortunately, since this conflict began, since these reckless people, since these people who are sacrificing not only Palestinian lives for their movement, they are sacrificing Jewish lives since the very beginning, just because they're a nationalistic movement. Therefore, we unfortunately experience today all these tragedies. We are concerned about the Jewish blood being spilled in the Holy Land. We are concerned about Palestinian blood being spilled. We are concerned about people who are expelled from their lands. We are concerned about people that are imprisoned, political prisoners. We are concerned about all this oppression from the very beginning to the very end. And we say that all of this has nothing to do with the Jewish people. This is a movement of Zionism which does not represent the entire Jewish people. We always need to remember, educate and help other people to understand the great difference between Judaism and Zionism. Judaism is a religion only, with no nationalism to it, no politics, versus Zionism, which is a purely political movement, founded by non-religious people, anti-religious people, an anti-religious movement to fight God and fight humanity. We pray for the speedy and peaceful dismantlement of this political movement of Zionism, the State of Israel. We hope that this will take place soon. At that time, we can hope that the peace that did exist in Palestine between peoples of all backgrounds, peoples of all religions, including Jewish people, Muslims, Christians and others. We hope that this peace that did take place should be able to be the case in the future. We should merit to see that soon in our days. Ultimately, we pray for the revelation of God's glory throughout the universe, when all nations together will form one bond to serve the one God in peace and harmony. Thank you very much.